Well, it's time for the Thursday morning edition Gulf Coast Weather Solutions show, sponsored by HB Neal Construction. Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Johnny Lively here for our latest update. We've got a pretty quiet morning going on. If you look at the Tamco live Doppler radar, you can see just some very small isolated showers occurred earlier this morning into parts of Liberty County. But if you go outside, it is muggy and pretty much a quiet start. Thanks again to our sponsor of HB Neal and Tamco Hail Guard Beyond Class 4. If you're looking for any showers or thunderstorms, it's well towards the north. We've got high pressure over our region, so this is what we call ridge riders going on far towards the north. Very powerful storm system going on in parts of Iowa. What's that? 510 lightning strikes just in the last 2 minutes. Very intense storm about to go through Des Moines, Iowa. But here locally, not much going on the Tamco live Doppler radar and the Tamco Hail Guard Beyond Class 4 showing the satellite radar this morning. All that gold to the burnt orange to brown, that is dry mid to upper levels. So if you go outside, you might see some clouds on the low levels, but if you look higher up, the mid and upper levels are very, very dry. That's why we're not having really very bona fide shower and thunderstorm opportunity. The mid to upper levels, very dry. Low levels do have the moisture and do have the clouds, but the mid to upper levels, very dry, not allowing for any showers. You can see that warm, moist air is here at the surface because it is very hot, very warm, very muggy. We're pretty much getting very close to the 80-degree mark all across the board. If you go north of the I-10 corridor, you can find some middle to upper 70s. Along the I-10 corridor is mostly starting to make its way towards the 80-degree mark, just like Houston, Winnie, and Anahuac already around that 80-degree mark. Down towards the coast, you are already there, thanks to our sponsor of Neutron Electrical Services. For our construction forecast for today, sponsored by Modern Concrete Material, not a bad day, kind of what we've seen the last couple of days. Very hot, very muggy. We're going to get into the 90s very quickly this afternoon. Heat index 100 to 105 degrees. Your only relief from the heat is a very small 5 to maybe 10% coverage for a passing shower. We had a little bit better coverage yesterday with that 20% that we talked about today. It's going to be a little bit more drier with that 5 to just mainly 10% coverage. And we really have been watching this, but we've been talking about this for a long time. Deep tropical moisture surging back into the Gulf late this week, really kind of now, and mainly going to be into this weekend. This is surging towards the Mexico and South Texas line late this week, mainly into this weekend. The National Hurricane Center has given this area a 10% chance of development, but like we've been saying, it does not matter about the development. This does not change our forecast at all. Locally heavy rainfall is moving into Mexico, South Texas, and even into our region. But that doesn't happen until Sunday into really all the way through Tuesday. So let's dive into this. Tropical storm, or what's left of really Christina, is now moving into parts of Central America and Mexico. But the biggest thing is that all of this moisture is bubbling and surging into the Bay of Campeche, into the southern Gulf. Again, we're not too worried about those odds of it developing, but what we will be watching is what it is bringing towards the Gulf. High pressure ridge is keeping us hot and dry. Mid to upper levels are very dry, and so that's why we're not seeing the bona fide shower and thunderstorms. All the storms are far towards the north. That's where the ridge is kind of sending everything. But that ridge breaks down, and that surge of moisture surges into the Bay of Campeche really in the next 24 to 48 hours. So here's this system that's not going to develop, but it is going to help bring all of this moisture. We're going to see this lift moving into Mexico, locally heavy rainfall in Mexico and South Texas. You know, hey, South Texas and Mexico, they'll always take the rain. We just don't want to see big-time flooding, but this is going to bring some really good rain opportunity really now, Thursday, Friday, through the weekend for these areas. But notice we've got this front that's going to be approaching Central Texas, East Texas, probably getting pretty close to Southeast Texas. But what all this is doing is we've got this front combined with this deep, deep tropical moisture, and this is just science 101. This is going to bring the risk for some locally heavy rainfall Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and probably sticking around a little bit on Wednesday as well too. So we are isolated, mostly dry right now, at least until Saturday, and then the pattern starts flipping. Lots of moisture moving into our region. You can see this on a rainfall outlook sponsored by Do Good Credit Union. We get back to numerous with the potential for some locally heavy rainfall Sunday, at least through Tuesday, with some lingering storms possibly at least Wednesday morning into the afternoon. But none of that's going on today. It's going to be mostly hot, temperatures getting into the 90s. Your only chance to kind of get any relief from the heat is these very small isolated showers, 5 to possibly 10% coverage. As we get to the afternoon, you can start seeing just a little bit of these popcorn showers, but it's not going to be as active active as what it was yesterday. And yesterday wasn't that active. We just had 20% coverage. But just showing today is going to be a mostly hot and mostly dry day today. Biggest headline is going to be the heat index, 100 to 105 degrees. How much rain are we talking Sunday through at least Tuesday? I put this to at least Wednesday morning. Again, some lingering showers and storms are still possible on Wednesday, but Sunday through at least Tuesday evening, 1 to 3 inches widespread. If not, you could say 2 to 4 inches widespread, but these isolated pockets getting up to 4, 5, 6 inches of rain cannot be impossible. We are just showing that some locally heavy rainfall is definitely on the way Sunday through Tuesday for our region. Lots of rain is on the way once again. Here's our forecast for this afternoon. It's going to be hot, mostly dry, just 5 to 10% coverage. Thanks for a sponsor of Sealsby Ford. Get you one. Those temperatures getting into the low to mid 90s. Heat index, big story, 100 degrees to 105 degrees. Some areas could get to 106 in the heat index. Definitely stay cool, stay hydrated. I work outside too, so I know how it goes. Low temperatures tonight is going to be warm, muggy, and humid. That's what we feel this time of year anyway. North of the I-10 corridor, you can get into the middle to upper 70s. Along the I-10 down towards the coast, mid 70s, pretty much to that low 80 mark. Again, thanks for a sponsor of Sealsby Ford. Get you one. 7-day forecast for Southeast Texas. It's isolated. It's hot. But we get pretty active Sunday, at least through Tuesday and a little bit into Wednesday. Locally heavy rainfall moving in. Widespread 2 to 3 inches is definitely possible. Isolated up to 4 to 5 inches can't be ruled out. Because of the rain, because of the clouds, this does help the temperatures kind of relax more into the 80s, less into the 90s. But lots of rain is probably on the way once we get into Sunday into early next week. Same thing for Southwest Louisiana. We're on the isolated rain pattern right now, mostly dry, heat index, the big story. But once we get into Sunday into early next week, pattern definitely switches as we start getting into more of the locally heavy rainfall. And this is a good time to go download our free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. It will keep you updated not only in the tropics, but what the temperatures are going on. But we're talking about the chance for some locally heavy rainfall, especially widespread, and even some of these isolated areas can get higher amounts. Go download our free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. It will keep you updated around the clock. Have a wonderful Thursday. Thanks for tuning in to Gulf Coast Weather Solutions. We'll have more updates regarding the heat and regarding the rain that's moving in on Sunday, at least sticking around until Tuesday, if not into Wednesday of next week. Have a great Thursday, and thanks again for tuning in with us.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by
At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play and stay connected no matter where you are.